Hi, my name is Kiri and welcome to today's session. Today I wanted to do a short practice that will help support us when we're having a little bit of low back pain. And all you'll need is your mat and your block today. So once you have that, we'll begin whenever you're ready. So today we'll actually begin in our child's pose. So if you'd like, please bring your knees nice and wide onto your mat and then just bring your arms out forward. The block can be moved over to the side. We're not going to utilize it quite yet, but just have your arms extended out in front of you and just rest your forehead down. This creates a gentle rounding sensation through your lower back just to give it a little bit of ease. So let your hips fall nice and heavy. Let your shoulders fall heavy as well. And take a couple of deep inhales and exhales here. Good. We'll take two more. Beautiful. Last one. Good. Take your time to slowly lift yourself up to your hands and your knees, drawing your knees closer together so that we can get ready for our cat-cows, our Chakravarkasana. So on your next inhale, drop the belly as you lift your tailbone as well as your gaze, making sure that the wrists are underneath the shoulders. And then as you exhale, push the earth away as you round the spine and separate the shoulder blades as you tuck your chin and tailbone underneath. Inhale again as you drop the belly, lift the gaze. And then exhale again as you arch the spine and round. Again, we'll do that 3 more times at your own pace. Inhales for cow, and then exhales for cat. Good. Head. As you come back into a nice neutral spine, we're going to take our hands and walk them out towards the front just a little bit, and then you're going to tuck your toes underneath, and then you're just going to hover your knees about an inch off the mat as you breathe nice and big, and then think about your lower back. Instead of having your hips arched upwards, think about tucking your pelvis underneath, so you feel a gentle engagement happening through your lower belly. Yeah, we're going to maintain this hold. See if we can do that for 4 more. Good. Last 3. Good. 2 more. Beautiful. Last one. Good. Transition is going to be from here to your downward facing dog. So walk your feet back into a nice high plank and then send your hips all the way up and back and then find your downward facing dog. If you're really tight through the hamstrings, know that that's absolutely okay. You can bring your hands a little bit closer to your feet and then ground through the heels just a little bit while keeping the hips nice and high. Good. We're going to pedal out the feet left and right as we open up through the entirety of our back body, really pushing down into the palms, almost like you're trying to shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you keep pedaling the feet left and right. Okay, can we maintain that for 3 more breaths? Good. 2 more. Good. Last one. Yeah, take your time, look forward towards the front of the mat as you slowly start to slow down your feet. And then start to walk your feet up towards your hands. And once your feet arrive, your feet are going to be about hips distance apart. Inhale again as you bring your hands to your shins and lift the chest, halfway lift. And then as you exhale, find a nice big forward fold, but do it with bent knees. Good. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, hands up, look up as you reach. And then exhale, release your hands down by your side in Samastitihi. Good. We're going to utilize the block here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your block and bring it to the highest setting just so that we can test. We can bring the floor up as high as we need it to, just to start out. If you notice that the block is a little bit too high and you need a little less support and you can actually fold down a little bit deeper, you can rotate the block to a lower setting. But wherever you are, bring your feet about hip distance apart. Take a nice big inhale, reach the arms all the way up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, find a nice big forward fold with bent knees. Bring your hands onto the block. Good. Inhale, utilize the block to halfway lift. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the legs. And then as you exhale, forward fold, bend the knees quite a bit. Good. Utilize the hands on the blocks to push off, coming back up to standing, reaching the arms back up high. And then exhale, release the hands down by your sides to finish out. Good. So that's half Surya Namaskar A. We're going to continue that and do that 2 more times. On your next inhale, reach the arms up nice and high. Exhale, forward fold, hands onto the block. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. And this is why we want the block a little bit higher so that we can roll the shoulders back, flatten out our spine the best that we can while straightening up the legs. And then exhale again, big forward fold. Inhale again, come all the way to the top, hands up, look up as you reach. And then exhale again, hands down by your side. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale, big reach. Exhale, big forward fold, hands onto the block in front of you. Inhale, flat back again, halfway lift, the best you can, straight legs, straight back. And then exhale again, big forward fold. Inhale again, sweep the arms back up high. And then exhale again as you release the hands down by your sides. Good. Now you're going to open up to the side of your mat, and you can actually take your block with you. Good. And then you can place the block to the outside of your right foot. Good. You can take a nice big inhale as you open up your arms out to the side. Take a nice big breath in. And then as you exhale, slide your torso towards the right side, reaching towards that right side of the room. And then as you exhale, bring that hand down. And it can be onto the block if you can reach it. It's really difficult, so know that it's not a requirement. You could also bring your hand to your thigh and then reach that left arm high. Good. Can we take 2 more breaths? Really good. Last one. Yeah. Good. We'll bend both knees to gently scoop our torso back up. Inhale. And then exhale, reach towards the left side. Good. You could bring the block to the other side if you were able to utilize it on that side. But again, it is not a requirement. As you exhale and bring that hand down, either to the block or your thigh as you reach the right arm high. Good. We'll take 2 more breaths on this side. Really good. 1 more. Good. Bend the knees again, and then scoop the torso up as you come on up. Good. And then exhale, release the hands down by your sides. Good. Now you're going to bring your toes out and your heels in, and then find gently into a goddess pose. And you can bring your hands onto your thighs to support, and then just gently give yourself a rock side to side. Finding a little bit of a deeper opening through your hips. Because when your lower back is really in a little bit of pain, it could be from a multitude of things. And it could also be from having tight hips and tight legs as well. So find a little bit of movement, breathe nice and big. And then see if you can take 2 more breaths. Whether you decide to move side to side or maybe a little bit up and down. It doesn't have to be a static pose. 1 more. Good. And then take your time to slowly lift yourself up. And then this time bring your heels out and your toes in. So your toes in farther than they were. And then take a nice big inhale as you take your elbows and roll them back. Look up towards the sky, big inhale breath. And then as you exhale, hinge the hips back as you find a nice big forward fold. You can place your hands onto your mat, or you can utilize the block if the earth feels like it's really far away so that you can support yourself. And then inhale, flat back, halfway lift before you exhale and find a nice big forward fold. And breathing nice and big. We got 3 more. And final 2. Really good. Last one. Good. Take your time to slowly bend the knees. Support your spine as it slowly comes back up to stand. Bring the arms back out to the side. And then exhale, release the hands. Okay. We'll heel toe the feet together. Good. And then we'll slowly make our way back down towards the mat. So we're going to take the block and bring it out in front of you again. Move it over to the side. We're going to gently lower yourself all the way down onto your mat. So take a nice big inhale here. And then exhale, slowly lower yourself all the way down. Good. Once we arrive, we're going to take one hand on top of the other. Rest your forehead on top of that. And then we're going to lift whatever you can. So you have the option of just lifting your legs, or you can lift just your torso, or you can lift the combination of both. So whenever you're ready, on your next inhale, whatever you choose to lift, inhale, lift. And then use your exhales to hold it there. See if you can find another inhale as you lift a little bit higher. And then on the exhale, slowly lower down. Good. We got a total of 2 more like that. Inhale again, squeeze and lift. Exhale again as you hold. Inhale again as you lift a little bit more. And then on the exhale again, lower back down towards the ground. Good. One last one. Inhale again, squeeze and lift. Exhale, hold. And then inhale again, big lift. And then exhale, lower back down. Good. We're going to take both of our feet up towards our hips. Separate our knees a little bit wider. Take our feet side to side. Just rolling everything out. Good. From here, we're just going to gently lower our feet back down towards the ground. Tuck our hands by our sides and lift ourselves all the way up. And just find a gentle child's pose to help round our spine. One last time before we end up on our back. Good. Can we take 2 more breaths here? Beautiful. Last one. Take our time to slowly come back up to hands and knees. And then you're going to take the block with you as you lay yourself onto your back. Once you arrive onto your back, the block is a tool that's going to help us find a little bit of engagement. Know that it is not necessary for this practice, but it is a good tool to have. So if you do utilize the block today, you're going to take that and bring it to your inner thighs so that you can use that to squeeze the inner thighs together. So if your glute meats turn on. So what you're going to do is you're going to think about bringing your knees into your chest, squeeze the block really hard, and then notice how when you bring your knees into your chest, your lower back is flat against the ground. You want to maintain the contact of your lower back against the ground during this exercise. It's Apanasana, but with a little bit of a core engagement. So I'll take a nice big inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're going to slowly lower your toes down towards the ground, but you're not going to let the lower back lift off the mat. Good. Inhale again as you bring the knees back into your chest. Good. And then exhale again as you bring your toes down. Squeeze the block as hard as you can. Maintain the contact of the lower back against the earth. Good. Inhale again. Bring it to your chest. And then exhale again. Squeeze, press, lower. Good. Inhale again into chest. Exhale again as toes lower. Good. Squeeze. Good. Inhale again into your chest. And then last one. Exhale. Good. And as the toes tap, gently bring it back in. Squeeze. Good. Give yourself a break. Take 2 breaths here. Really good. One more. Okay, and we're going to move to David Padapitam, which is bridge pose with the block. So you're going to change the position so now that your feet are flat on the floor and then about hip distance apart or a little bit narrow depending on how wide your block is. Make sure your heels are close to your hips. You're going to tuck your shoulders so you have a nice flat platform against the upper back. And then on your next inhale, press down into your feet. Squeeze the block as hard as you can. Lift the hips up high. And then exhale, hold. Inhale, lift a little bit more. And then exhale, roll the hips down 1 vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. We're going to do that lift 2 more times. Inhale again, squeeze and lift. Exhale, hold. Inhale, lift a little bit more. And then exhale, slowly lower. Good. 1 more time, just like that. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale, hold. Good. Inhale again, big lift. And then exhale, lower. Yeah, take your time to release the block and bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself that nice big hug, especially with your knees maybe a little bit wider. Good, and enjoy a gentle rock side to side. Maybe some circles as you roll out your lower back. Good, then hug the knees into the chest. Good, and then on the next inhale, extend the legs up towards the sky. And then exhale again, bend the knees. Good, inhale again, extend the legs up towards the sky the best you can. And then exhale again, knees into chest. Good, one last time, inhale, extend the legs. And then exhale again, knees into chest. Good, hug the right knee into your chest, extend the left leg all the way down towards the ground. Good, hug it in close, maybe a little bit more space over towards your right armpit. Good, and then inhale here. And then exhale, open the knee out towards the right. Good, inhale again, bring it back to center. And then exhale, extend it again towards the right. Good, inhale again, back to center. Exhale again, over towards the right. Good, one last time, inhale to center. Exhale again to the right.
Yeah.
Good, gently bring that knee back into your chest. Allow the left knee to join. And then we'll switch side. Left knee comes in, right leg extends down. Give it a nice big hug in to start. Good, and then again, inhale here. And then exhale out to the left. And then inhale back to center. It's like almost like you're making a half circle. Exhale, open out to the left. Good, one more time. Inhale, center. And then exhale again to the left. Good, inhale back to center. Good, give yourself one last big hug into your chest. Good, and then you'll gently extend the legs out nice and straight. If you'd like a little bit more of an opener for the front, just to create a little bit more of a curve through your lower back, you can take that block and place it right underneath your hips at the lowest setting, please, and make sure that it's right underneath your butt. So not your lower back, not your thighs, but your butt. And then you can extend the legs out in front of you. This helps to create that natural curve back into your lower back. It also helps to open up the front of the hips. So allow yourself to give yourself a little bit of rest. Thank your body and yourself for showing up today to take care of what was necessary to help ourselves feel good.
Good.
And just take a moment to check in physically, mentally, emotionally, and just allow yourself to be. As we take one last moment in stillness, find a nice full breath in to fill yourself up with everything that you might need to help you carry yourself through the rest of the day. Followed by a big open mouth exhale to let everything else go. Gently wiggle through your fingers and your toes. And if one last full body stretch is called to you, allow yourself to extend through the arms and through the legs one final time. And then take your time to slowly bend the knees. Allow yourself to use your hands to hold the block, especially if it's a foam one rather than a cork one. A cork one would be pretty painful in this one, so slide that one out. Otherwise, if you have a foam block, just gently bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself that supportive rounding sensation through your lower back. And then from there, you can use your hands to gently slide that out. And then just give your knees a gentle hug into your chest. Take your time to slowly roll yourself over to your favorite side, coming into that comfortable fetal position, allowing us ourselves to reset for the rest of the day. Yeah, before taking your time to slowly press yourself up to your comfortable seat. And once you arrive, placing one hand over heart, one hand over belly to help find gratitude in our bodies in this experience and this practice. Thank you so much for being here and allowing me to guide yours today. Thank you so much, my heart to yours. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're feeling a little bit better, and I hope to see you at the next one.